everybody. We're live from the studio.
Properly.
We even have a computer that's running things correctly for the moment. It was built pretty recently because, you know, if for the last minute, nothing would get done. Am I right? Timing. Oh my gosh. Well, I don't know. So, anyway, let's see how everyone else in chat is doing. First off, we'll start with the welcomes, and then we can talk about everything else that's been going on. Of course, I have my wonderful co-host, Flo. What are you working on tonight, Miss Flo?
I'm mostly going to be working on Necron Warriors. I'm just finishing this last guy up real quick.
All right.
I can't remember what they're called.
Yeah, I don't know. Them warriors, guys.
These
with
ones
cross
aren't
rifles.
Warriors. These are
Just little
fancier.
melee guys.
Fancier.
They've got their little tyrannid spikes.
Yeah.
Pretty ridiculous. Oh, if we can get a little closer there. Yeah, there you go. So yeah, it's been super fun, but we're totally open to feedback because this is kind of the first time it's set up again in the studio with this setup. So yeah, anyway.
Stuff and things.
Let's say hi to everybody. Achilles Rain, welcome. Rebecca Cronenberg, wait, what is this streaming the whole of December? Oh, I hope you had a nap beforehand. In fact, I did have a nap beforehand. Thank goodness for that. No, I just couldn't think of a better name. It's December stream. It's December 1st. It's like the first stream of December.
My true love gave to me.
We've got 3 streams in December,
A computer
actually.
that works properly.
Yes, that's the hope. Let's see. It's got 90 minutes to fail, so we'll see. Evening. Oh, thank you, Paul, as always, for being my wonderful moderator. Poor Paul's been putting up with me, like, just being completely absent because I'm, like, off dealing with computer stuff, and streaming stuff, and then trying to move stuff to the studio, so, meh. Welcome, Bills. Appreciate you being here. Todd, good to see you. What's good, painting people? Let's see. Paul, yeah, he's been dealing with some wild storms in England. A ton of trees felled and fences blown over. Whew. Mr.
Sounds
Pilot?
like it's a regular New Mexico day.
We've got a lot of those storms.
We
We've
get
got
a lot of wind.
and lightning storms.
I'm going to say, we're just sharing some of our weather with you to be closer.
You just get the benefit of rain. Hi, Mr. Pilek. Let's see. Paul, I work from home, went out for lunch on Monday to the local store and had to change my route twice due to a tree just lying across the path. Oh, goody. Bills, yes. Hopefully no one got hurt and the trees were kind enough not to fall onto any structures. One can hope. The Plunder Den, welcome. Evening, ladies. Hey, Kahneman. Jean-Arc, hello. Let's see. And Christian, welcome. Bills, I said hi to. And Mini Ninja. Wish we had time as the real thing. Let's see. Wish we had time as a real thing for work. Oh, yeah, no kidding. Just don't cross the streams. Thanks, Grumpy Gaming. And Servant of Nero. Woo, managed to catch this one. Yes, welcome. Bills, we've had snow. It melted later in the week. Rain, and maybe back to snow later next week. Well, yeah. We've had nothing. I mean, New Mexico, the weather's just kind of nice all the time. Pretty nice if it's not hot or crazy windy. But, like, the seasons don't mean a whole lot of difference. Like, we might get snow, but it'll snow maybe 5 times or something before
It's like, hey, look, there's
spring.
snow. Just kidding, it's gone.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Like, it could snow a bunch in the morning and then be all gone in the afternoon. So yeah, let's see what everybody's up to. What are you all painting tonight? What are you working on? I've got a few questions for you guys actually in the chat too, because you've been my awesome supporters and putting up with me just doing these streams while I get a studio together and look at doing more on the channel, right? And so, you know, you guys know what you like, and so I want to know what you guys are all interested in. So we'll get to that. But I'm curious what you guys are working on for projects. As Flo mentioned, she's still working on many, many Necrons, although you and I both got the, what was it, the Chalanath box?
Yes.
Which has both Tau and Sister of Battle initiates. Is that what they're called?
I think so.
Yeah, so the initiates. So we've got 2 boxes of those to split, and I think we're gonna split the Tao and the sisters to sort out. So we'll
After
see.
I paint them, they're gonna be split. I'm pretty sure they're just gonna all come to me, and then they'll split.
Yeah, Flo has a very large,
To-do list.
yes, just one step at a time. But she's really fast, so it works out.
When I'm actually painting.
When you're painting,
When I'm painting.
which is painting right now.
Ha! Progress.
Grumpy Gaming Hero Quest. Oh yeah, nice. Acalis Rain working on Moros. I don't know what Moros is. Dustin. Hey Dustin, painting War Machine Dwarves tonight. The Rulix are fun. They've got some great models. Their Warjacks are super chunk monsters too. Conan Mills, what's up? Let's see, John, just getting ready to head to work. I understand. Paul, almost completed Miranda's Christmas model, posting soon. Okay, have any of you guys done any Christmas shopping yet? Because I think I've taken care of like less than the bare minimum that would be required by now. So, did you get any Christmas shopping done?
What's this Christmas shopping you speak of? I don't shop for stuff for Christmas. I make everything.
How's that coming along?
Not at all. Usually that happens like
In October?
no.
Oh no! Oh, like in
Usually
the
that
last
happened
week?
last week.
Okay. But you-
I do research all the way up until then, and then I do a frantic last minute like batch painting / drawing
Excellent.
session.
Excellent. Fair enough. Well, you
Well,
also
it's
bake.
done.
You bake a lot.
Oh yeah, ridiculous number of cookies.
Yeah, I mean, can't go wrong with cookies, right? In fact, those are sort of the best gifts, are the ones that, you know, you
Don't collect dust over time.
yeah, they're not knickknacks. They're just tasty things you enjoy, and you just remember what a good friend you had, and then you don't have it sitting around your house for a year. One, you know, getting rid of it during spring cleaning or whatever. So ho hum. Servant and Nero, no painting. Still haven't gotten my mojo back to pick up a brush. Audio editing to pass the time. Huh. Like as a hobby or a part of work? Audio editing to pass the time. That is not my favorite task, that's for sure.
Say, do you need a time machine to get your mojo back?
Austin Powers.
Which one?
I believe that one's the spy who shagged me.
Oh, it's been a little while since I've
Been a
seen
hot minute.
although we could talk about the movie I did just watch.
Well, I mean, I think I've heard all I need to hear, but everybody else would enjoy.
Oh yeah, but I must unleash my opinions on the internet, obviously.
What else is the internet for?
Bills, I'm gonna start working on some Cadians for a game I plan on running at our local gaming club. Oh nice. Cadians are pretty good. Almost as cool as the Catachans. Not quite, but Cadians are pretty cool. See, Plunder Den, I'm working on a unit of World War I French infantry and a 2-story ruined building.
Building.
Yeah, no, we've been talking about doing a lot of the terrain painting, actually, which is part of why we got the Chalnath box, and we also got the Actarius box just really for having more and more terrain to be able to put it on a table, because we've got a lot of space here, and we're planning to get a couple of tables and be able to set up the terrain on there and just play some games. So excited. Mr. Pilot putting together some printed warbands for Rain in Hell game? Warbands for, I don't know, the Rain in Hell game, I guess. There's so many games. Oh, I didn't say that. Oh, I lost the chat. There we go. Putting together, okay. Christian, I should be painting, but I am playing the Cydia games instead. Nice. Hey, Melinda. Melinda's in the chat.
Linda. Hi.
Character Jack Gareth Rhett. Oh, nice. Is that his name? Oh, I've been out of the loop. NYCFJB. Shop till I pass out in the store. Ugh. No, thank you. Melinda's shopped. Of course I have.
I mean,
I got a few things, but I'm also
I
making
went
everything.
shopping. I went to Ed.
Yeah, so our local game store had one of the local game stores. I'm sure they all did, but we ended up going to Etten. Or you went to Etten. And then
Yeah, and I got myself stuff.
Merry Christmas to me. Yeah, so they had some good discounts on items. Actually, what'd you end up picking up?
I picked up Journeys to Middle Earth, the campaign-style game for Lord of the Rings. And
nothing.
Terraforming Mars, because that's been on the list for a while.
Oh, yeah, and you also got a couple board games, right?
Those I got from Target because
Oh, yeah.
they were super cheap.
Super cheap, yeah. And see, Melinda, yeah, so she makes everything too. I think this is a really good year for making stuff. Or if you do buy something like a model and you paint it for someone, just, you know, that personal touch gift giving is really nice. Bills, we give the gifts of cash to our 2 children. Never gets returned. Funny that. Paul, I've done some Christmas shopping. Both my parents have birthdays in December too. Melinda, I'm with you, Flo, but I've got to be faster this year because of shipping. You know, it doesn't even matter. I mean, I've had multiple things lost in the mail at this point or delayed by weeks that shouldn't have been just because stuff gets lost. Like, the mail system is just,
Trash.
yeah, like, don't sweat it too much. I would just suggest notifying the recipient, like, something's in the mail to you. I mean, I guess technically you don't even have to be truthful given all the mail problems.
I'm just saying,
Like,
like, if it goes in the mail, it's probably not getting to you until I see you.
Oh, yeah.
Which might be faster.
Well, I mean, we ordered some audio equipment a week and a week ago. I don't know. It was supposed to come like 2-day shipping. It's lost in the mail right now. So it's just frustrating. I mailed a check to I mailed some stuff to my brother. And it took like 3 weeks for him to get it. And it was a letter. It was a priority mail letter. So just, you do your best, but don't sweat it because if it's gonna get lost, it's gonna get lost. And there's a good chance of it happening. Let's see. What movie did you just watch? Oh, I'll tell you in a
Can
minute.
we call it a movie?
It was like a fan film, I think. Servant of Nero, audio editing as a prelude to video assembly. Tiny Wormhorde's channel as a hobby. Love it. Forgot to say hi, Grumpy Gaming. Let's see. Whoa, the audio has just went out of sync for me. About 2 seconds out. Oh, goody. Well, I don't know what to tell you on that because it should be synced up. Let's see if it catches up. I got an email from Mercy Miniatures. It's finally shipping my Cruel Servile Lord of Dis. So I'm very excited. Oh, nice, Mac Attack. Congratulations. Revok, I'm waiting to see how the Omicron variant of COVID pans out before I invest too much in Christmas. Fair enough. Let's see, bills. If it's not lost in the mail, it's just on an adventure. Oh, it's not lost in the mail, it's on an adventure. They should probably update their shipping things to like just start making up like weird travels that your letter has gone on. Like, oh, it's, decided to go on an adventure to the Arctic. John Arc,
It's gonna be like Amelie. You're gonna all of a sudden get like a text and it's just a picture of a envelope in the snow, and, like a thing in the background. You're like, that isn't even the color envelope. I thought, no.
yes,
It's in Siberia.
fair enough. My audio is also out of sync. I don't know. I can try something in a minute here. I'm waiting for stuff from like earlier in the year. Still waiting on, I ordered a set of D&D dice back in March, and it arrived this Monday. Wow. All right, then. I fortunately have not been affected by the shipping woes, despite most of my stuff going international. Fingers crossed that it stays that way. Oh, yes, I hope so.
Well, you just jinxed it.
All right. I'm going to go on a small rant as I talk about the movie from last night. But I actually am curious, because we kind of mentioned the whole Christmas shopping thing, or whatever shopping it is you might be doing. And if you ended up getting in on any good Black Friday miniature sales, because we know our local game store had a Black Friday weekend, and it seems like a lot of places online and in store did a whole weekend of Black Friday to try and, make as much money as possible, right? And even the Cyber Monday stuff got extended, I think, through today. But I didn't know if you guys were seeing some good deals out there. I know that Warhammer dropped a recent new release with the new Sisters of Silence model. Obviously, they're not going to be on sale, but other stuff, does your local game store discount any of the GW stuff? Or are you always stuck at full price? Just curious. Let's see, I think Miranda's last Christmas mini took about 6 weeks to arrive, but another time it arrived in 6 days. England to Albuquerque. Yeah, it's random. And sometimes you can tell that like customs has rifled through it as well. So that's super fun. All right, so the movie we went and saw last night, don't judge, because you know I watch anything. We saw Resident Evil, Welcome to Raccoon City. Now, all I can say is bless that filmmaker's heart, because I feel like he really tried to make a film for the fans. His stated purpose was for it to be a film for the fans, but it
Failed because it was a film for fans.
well, yeah. There's a certain amount of like confusingness to it. So what is it? It was an hour and like 48 minutes. It's not a super long movie, which I appreciate because everything else is
long.
Everything is trying to reach like the 3-hour mark right now. So that was like a point in its favor. And to talk about the good stuff in it, the sets are freaking beautiful. Apparently, Capcom actually sent them like the layouts of the Raccoon City police precinct and the mansion, and they recreated them completely in the movie. And you barely freaking see it. It's like, what a waste, because it's like the coolest part where like there's a really cool panning shot of the Raccoon City Police Precinct when you first walk in, and you know there's like this crazy statue in there, and it doesn't look like a realistic police department at all, and you're like, oh man, that's gonna be awesome. Like you can run around the police precinct and see like the different, you know, experiences from the game. Nope. No, spend a lot of time either in the parking garage or in the main room where they just leave. And then they spend a lot of time in this orphanage because they decided, so you follow these main characters of Chris Redfield, Claire Redfield, Jill Valentine, Wesker, and Leon Kennedy. And then the miscellaneous other people who get killed. And they decided that Chris, Claire, and Leon all needed backstories that nobody cares about. They decided Chris and Claire were really from Raccoon City and that they're orphans and just a whole bunch of stuff that makes no sense. Not to my knowledge, you never really know. I don't have any reason to believe that they're orphans. Chris just works for Stars, but really he's like a special forces in the police department in this movie. So there's like some confusing choices made, let's say. Leon, who's, you know, a decent character in the game, ends up being a complete putz in the movie, and there's no reason to do that either. So
Unless you just don't like the character.
well, and I wondered because you can almost tell. Like, I don't know if you guys ever watched the Iron Fist series on Netflix, but I'm pretty sure the writers hated that character because he was just the worst and awful constantly. So yeah, I feel like that might have happened a little bit with Leon. Like maybe there was some pushback behind the scenes. I don't know. Maybe he hated the actor. Maybe there was a producer decision. But it was weird. Like Leon, you're like, why are you dumb and frustrating? And I don't know. And then there's like all these little like Easter eggs, right? Where they comment on, you know, there's the comment of a Jill sandwich, which is groaningly thrown in there. Comment about like why Claire knows how to use every single gun under the sun, which is a legitimate, you know, question in the world of Resident Evil, right? Like everybody in that world who's running around at all knows how to use a bazooka and an RPG and, you know, all kinds of rifles and everything. It's hilarious. So yeah, it was about 90% cringe and 10% heart, I would say. It was an incredible, like when I was watching it, I kind of had to, about 10 minutes in, I was just squirming in my seat thinking like, oh God, this is going to be a really painful experience. But I reassessed it and I said, no, like I felt like the filmmaker's being earnest here, for better or worse, but he's being earnest, and you know, let's just see what the good things are in this. And I was able to get through the movie, but oh my gosh, there were some...
By the skin of her teeth.
Well, it kind of combines Resident Evil 1 and 2 into this amalgamated movie, and they give you new stuff. It was actually one of the interesting things that was mentioned. They give you new stuff in that, oh, okay, here's the backstory to Chris and Claire for no reason. Here's the backstory to Leon, and, you know, to give you, the audience new stuff. But you know what everybody who knows anything about Resident Evil expects? They expect Wesker to betray everybody. There's no surprises there. So it's not like they give you anything new to work with. The character who plays Wesker did a pretty good job. I think he's the guy from the Umbrella Academy show. But I don't know. Everybody's really underutilized. Oh, the dialogue. Oh my gosh. I felt like it was equivalent to Resident Evil voice writing, which was not in its favor. I mean, there's just no reason to do that. It's hilarious in a game because, you know, you don't have that high of a standard. You're not just sitting there watching everything unfold, you're interacting with it, and so even when your characters say stupid things, it's fine. But if you're just, like, all you can do is be an audience member and you watch them say stupid things and fail to have a complete conversation at any point in the movie, it's just aggravating. So, you know, I appreciate they tried, but wow. It could have been so amazing. It could have been so self-realizing because you could have been like my theory is that if you had like this outside character, a normie character, totally new person, and he comes into Raccoon City and you're watching all the superhero characters that you already know and like Jill Valentine, like Chris, like Leon, Claire, everybody. And they're all doing like their crazy, kind of ridiculous game mechanic stuff, and it's working for them, and you as the audience member like are experiencing through the one character is on the outside, not understanding why any of this works, but sort of going along with it by the end. Like that would have been, it could have been an amazing comedy, but in this case it was like tonally, here's some comedic stuff, but then it's played really serious and gory. Special effects team knew what they were doing. They were great, and the set design, on point. Everything else, man. It made me sad. It made me sad. I love video game movies, but I actually leaned over like at one point and I was like, is this an Uwe Boll movie? Like, what is going on? So, yeah. All right, there's a lot of chat in here, so sorry about that.
She's like, I have to rave for just rant and rave
I
for just a
messaged
minute.
Paul. I was like, I don't know what to say about this movie. I have a lot to say about this movie. And he's like, okay. So now I'm here. Now everybody got to hear it. Let's see, Todd, I only bought some alt sculpt models for my Malifaux crew. Nice. Malifaux! Let's see, Paul, best deals I saw were from Anvil Industry. They're primarily a 3D printing site, so I can only get so much. Oh. My main concern, what was wrong with Wesker? You know, the greatest Resident Evil villain ever. He is just boring. He's so boring. And even his betrayal, it can almost go by you where you're like, wait a minute, is he betraying anybody? No? Technically Ada Wong's in the movie for like a hot second. That's it. I don't know. It was just boring. Everybody like had this edginess to them, except for maybe Chris's character. And Leon's character just played as a dope, so Servant of Nero. Black Friday isn't much of a thing in this part of the world.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Were it not for the PP sale notification, it would have passed me by completely. Oh, fair enough. Long movie equals getting your money's worth. No. Disagree. I know what you mean, and there are some amazing long movies. And I don't hate a movie just because it's long, but I definitely hate a movie once I start feeling like it's wasting my time. And a lot of movies that drag out,
I feel like
they're doing that.
It's just a recent, like in the last decade or so, that they've just been going longer and longer with the movies. In particular, like when Lord of the Rings started it, they were like, it's so long. But
well,
then
that was when everything could be a trilogy, and all the book series could be 4 movies, with the last book being split into 2 movies.
But like, I miss the good old days when, you know, an hour and a half and you have a really solid movie with a good storyline and you're like, yeah, I like that. And, you know, and spend, 3 hours of my day sitting here for that.
Yeah. Although, if you haven't seen it yet, audience, because I know you have, Krampus is an amazing movie. Yes! And it's not too long at all. Plundered, my Christmas gift to myself is a trip to Adepticon. I just hope the border stays open. I hope so. Yeah, Adepticon. It can finally happen again. Yay! Danny gets a bad rap. Let's see. Not sensing a strong recommendation here. No, not for that movie. Bless. Leave my girl Claire alone. Hey, I love Claire. I cosplayed as Claire in at PAX 2012. It was great. And I really felt like they even fell down on the costume direction for her. They gave her that pink-red leather jacket. But they didn't do anything else with it. Like, why not have the little decal on the back, the Made in Heaven logo? Like, that was a perfectly cool look. They certainly didn't mind emulating a lot of the video game stuff. They just didn't want to do that. So, and I don't know that there was like a great reason for it, because I don't know, that's part of the whole Resident Evil style, is it's kind of a ridiculous world. Christian, Iron Fist did have some very cool moments, but they were too far and too few between. I agree 100%. It was mostly the writing in the first season's action sequences were lackluster. I liked the side character, the one who ran the dojo. She was cool. I didn't realize she was a Disney kid. Christian, the episode in season 2 where Iron Fist finally teams up with Power Man, aka Luke Cage, was super cool. It was alright. I was kind of done with it by that time.
I never got that far. But, you know.
Let's see, in Resident Evil 1 manual, I think it does say Chris was kicked out of the Air Force and then joined STARS. STARS is not mentioned in the movie at all. Just the police station, all the characters stay there, like Jill Valentine, Wesker, and Chris are all at the police station as Alpha Team or Bravo Team or something. They're not called STARS. Oh my god, oh dear. Yeah, no, it's on that level, I'm not gonna lie. In fact, I don't know if you guys ever saw Dungeons & Dragons 2. It's kind of like on that level. Yeah. Have you seen the new Dune movie? Does it drag because it's another long one? It does drag, but you can either love it or hate it for that. So the Dune movie, I definitely enjoyed. In fact, it actually convinced me to finally start reading the book. But it's from Denis Villeneuve, I believe. I'm saying it right. But he did Blade Runner 2049. And so his style is like these long sweeping shots of scenery. And you do have a lot of that in Dune, and it's really beautiful. I don't know if that's what everybody like wants to sit through, or if it feels too long for that. It didn't feel too long for me sitting there and watching that. But I also recognize like we're taking our time going through this movie, because it's just shy of 3 hours, I think, for the first half of book 1, is my understanding. So Dune played just fine. They didn't do anything ridiculous. They didn't have tonally confusing moments where you're not sure if this is supposed to be funny and cheeky or very serious. Dune was just a serious movie. The only thing that got ridiculous was that, which was just this getting hammered with the music, like, and every moment. And that got a little comedic after a while, in my opinion. Let's see. Yeah, it's definitely this movie is wasting my time feel, but I love Attack on Titan, and that is the emperor of drawing things. Yes, it is the emperor of drawing things out. So Paul and I strongly disagree, because he loves Attack on Titan, and I actually just hate it thoroughly. Even though I recognize that it has a really cool concept and great art direction, but I hate it because 22 episodes, or however many episodes, there's like 40 minutes of story in the whole thing, and by the time the season was over, I was like, I'm too mad at you to continue. Like, I can't stand this anymore. So, Mac Attack. My wife's a big fan of the Wheel of Time books, and we've both been enjoying the series on Amazon. Oh yeah, I am actually really interested to see it just because Rosamund Pike is in it. So I'm like really. I have Amazon, so I mean we could start at any time. But I hope it's good. Like, it has a little bit of that. What is the other one? A Wheel of Time. Maybe it was a Wheel of Time. I got through like one of the books as a kid and I didn't care for it, but we'll see. Let's see, the Dune book is so packed with setting information, it really needs a full treatment. Yeah, I mean, they did a good, as somebody who didn't read the book at the time of watching the movie, I think they did a good job of explaining like the political stuff, which is normally the most boring thing to explain in a movie. They did a pretty good job of kind of just giving you an idea of what everybody's houses were about, what Rebecca Ferguson's character and her bossy voice was all about, and like that whole ilk of women and who Paul is. So it ends up working I think. I don't know if it gives enough to the people who are really into the books, but you always have to kind of give and take a bit with a movie. Mandragora, hi. Hey there, no projects for a while. Pulled a thigh muscle running and fell in the street, busting my wrist. Ah! Maybe I'll get some Chaos Armature, Hellvarin War Dogs for myself for Christmas. Have a good show. Oh, gosh, I hope you feel better. Oh, that's a slow recovery. A wrist is, I mean, you use it for everything. Oh, man. Oh, man. Well, I wish you a speedy and happy recovery on that. Christian, to be fair, Flo, I was checked out too. I stopped watching twice, but wanted to finish. Yeah. Losing this. There we go. All right, Rebecca, Servant of Nero. It's a pretty faithful adaptation. A lot to get through. It feels slow, but it covers a lot of ground. It does. It has a lot of dreaminess to it. I think we're talking about Dune still. See, Dune is the first rendition. Dune, the first rendition, was all political vibes, whereas the second rendition was all action stuff. Which both are good combined if they can. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, poor Mandragora. Let's see, Melinda, I've been watching The Wheel of Time. I like it so far. Nice. But it's all TV show, right? It's a whole TV series. I have the worst time getting through TV series because they take more time than watching a movie, right? So. And don't give me that it's episodic and somehow you're only watching one episode a week nonsense, because we all know that's a lie.
That's why I don't get through too many TV shows also.
Yeah?
Unless it's DJ prompted. He
Okay.
just puts it on.
And I'm like, okay, I guess we're watching this.
Let's see. A YouTube movie reviewer I watched, Amanda the Jedi, was actually flown over from Canada to London to see the premiere of Wheel of Time. Ooh, good for her. That's awesome. Let's see.
I own
Squid
all of the
Game.
Wheel of Time books.
I have not read them all.
Yes, Paul likes Squid Game. I don't know why everybody likes Squid Game. I mean, yeah. I think we're due for a progress check. It's already 8:08. We should have done a progress check 8 minutes ago, but I started a little bit late, so this is basically a half an hour in. Progress check, please. How are you doing with your character?
I don't even know if he's showing up very well.
I don't know. I think so. Just keep it a little lower in the frame. Yeah, I like that. Give him a little twirl. Whoa, yeah. No, not like that. All right, and give him a little spin. Yeah, it looks like it's in focus, I think. So Necron's coming along. What have you done on it so far? Some edge highlighting?
So, all the blue was already there. I'm just adding silver and gold and some glow effects.
And is this the one you finished, or is this
Yes,
your
that's the
example?
one I finished.
Show that one. It's so pretty. Show the pretty thing. Is my sound still out of sync, or?
Waiting for it to load.
Yeah. Callous Rain. That is sick. Good job. So good.
So good. Good. Good and great. Great and good.
So how many more Necrons do you have?
I'm pretty sure there's still like an entire army for me to do. Not all of them are primed.
How many primed models do you have left to do?
I'll tell you in a minute.
Okay. You brought them all?
I think there's a Nightbringer I don't have with me.
Oh, okay. Fair enough, fair enough. I've been loving the Netflix Cowboy Bebop live action.
Oh, God.
Oh, yeah, that's out.
DJ put on the first episode.
Yeah? Are you not?
Like, not telling me what it was or anything. He just put it on. And I was sitting there and I'm like, the hell is this? And it got to the point where it started playing some music and I'm like, oh no, this is Cowboy Bebop, isn't it?
Oh, no. Was it really bad?
I didn't make it through the first episode. I sat there the whole time like, oh no.
So was it
What did they
frustrating
do?
as a comparison to Cowboy Bebop, or was it just really weak on its own in your view?
Yes.
Oh, no. Okay.
I mean, I picked it out from the outfits and the music.
But nothing else indicates that.
Like, they try to give Spike a certain Spike spirit, I guess.
Okay.
A lot of it feels like it's trying to be edgy when it really doesn't need to be edgy, and
Yeah.
I'm like, what did you do?
Oh, no.
So I hated it. The
Okay.
little bit I got through.
It's fair.
I was like, DJ, don't put that back on. You can watch it on your own time.
Don't play that trash when I'm around.
Well, I already told him I wasn't interested, and then he put it on just to put it
Just
on,
to
and I
put
was
it on,
like,
yeah.
don't make me go through that trash again.
Does he
It's
like
a waste
it?
of my time. I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think he ever put it back on.
Oh no. All right.
But I
well,
don't think
fair
he actually likes the regular Cowboy Bebop either, which is poor taste in his.
enough. Just a lacking.
Lacking in taste.
That's why you come over here, throw a lot of grief to your boy there.
Throwing shade.
Let's see. How do people feel about Arcane at League of Legends? Like the video game? I never played it. Kellis Rain. Wheel of Time is a great read, but I wasn't a fan of the ending. Much preferred Terry Goodkind Sort of Truth series. I did love the Terry. I think I've still read. I've kept up to date with all of the Sort of Truth books. And then, of course, Terry Goodkind passed away, so not going to be any more of those. But it was an amazing
Wheel of Time also.
series with a lot of interesting concepts and it's a very expansive world. And the show was just trash, just painful trash with great costumes. And I really liked the actors too. I felt sad for them, like just to be stuck singing that terrible dialogue. What a horrible position to be in. The Adeptus Ridiculous. Hey man. I love how they're going about casting the rustic legends feel and vibe of all these new movie genres today. Quite the awesome categories of high fantasy sci-fi going on. What movies are you talking about? 'Cause I honestly don't know what are you talking about like the series? Like the way they're doing Wheel of Time or Witcher or something like that? Okay, I don't know. Paul, if anyone likes horror, watch Sweet Home on Netflix. It's another Korean series, but gets so freaky. There you go. Maybe you can give Sweet Home a go.
I was gonna say, yes, sir.
She's in. Let's see.
If I have time. If I remember.
Oh, League of Legends is the show, Arcane. Oh, gosh. Dude, TV shows are not things I keep up with. There's too many of them. And, like, the only thing what's the last TV show I've been excited about? I'm pretty sure it's still Cobra Kai. It's the last, like, favorite thing I've had. So. Let's see. Yes, audio still has sync. Dang it! I'm going to try something. I'm going to disappear for a second. I'm going to hope it doesn't break anything. All right. I'm back. Let me know if that made anything better. Because I know rubber lips drive me nuts. Let's see. It has flaws and quirks which may strike viewers as odd, but as a non-LOL player, I recommend it. Okay, fair enough. Rebecca gets better. Bills, I couldn't get into the cartoon Cowboy Bebop, so I'm going to give the live action a pass. Melinda wants to know if you're a fan of the original Cowboy Bebop. Guess say you definitely are. Let's see, you'll definitely have to check it out. I'd suggest Attack on Titan again, but Miranda may ban me. No, you can like what you like, obviously. I don't understand it. Like, well, maybe I do. Like, I agree with you. You just have more patience than I do because, yeah, I get viscerally angry at a TV show when I get the sense that it's sitting there just biding its time, like just dragging stuff out because they don't have anything else to show me. It's like, just make one good, amazing story, and I'll just watch that over and over. You don't have to drag it out and fill it with a bunch of nonsense because, that feeling. Like, you don't get your time of your life back, okay? Even if you're spending it entertaining yourself, that's fine. You can count it as wasting your time however you want, but like when I'm not being entertained and I'm there for entertainment or an interesting story and it's just like, that dragging out feeling is just, it triggers me. Don't like it. 21 primed minis to work on. Do you know how many you've painted so far? Is this everything you've painted? No, you've
No.
painted more than that.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I think. Possibly more.
13 completed, 21 left.
Yes.
All right, you're getting there. You're doing great.
I think. Of things built. You know, there are things being built
Yeah,
still,
yeah.
and printed.
But you're
still.
probably going to end up getting these done and then maybe doing a different army for a while, because with the initiates, and Tau, and orcs maybe, I don't know.
I still want to paint my Cthulhu War.
I need to get my cash hand working again. I've got my toughest ladies of the galaxy that are going to be some like jungle ladies for me, and then my awesome Catachan special characters. They're so fun to paint because you can just do so much with them. See, Plundered In, I've been cutting and texturizing popsicle sticks for the last 20 minutes. Real uneventful step, but a necessary one. Oh yeah, I understand. Sometimes you just gotta make the donuts. Melinda, the TV show. We've been watching Arcane. I've never played the game, but it's a very interesting series. Oh, okay. I wonder if that works as an interesting segue, like if people watch the show and enjoy it, then they
Might
enjoy the game, yeah. Because I feel like Dune did that. Like, it gives you an interesting enough story where you're like, oh, well, maybe I will read this classic novel. Kellis, holy crap, I didn't realize Terry Goodkind passed away. Yeah, not checked on him in a few years. I'm sorry. No, when I heard about it, it sucked because, I mean, he wasn't that old, and I don't remember what tore him down, but it was bad, so. He wrote a lot. At least we got that. Hey, Adeptus. Let's see. It's a Necron invasion. Run! Fixed in sync. Okay, good. So that fixed it. Yay!
Hooray!
Jean, we watched Cobra Kai Season 3, Episode 1 tonight during dinner. Oh, so good. I love Johnny Lawrence so much. He's my spirit animal. Not that I was like a bully, but just like the way life treats him, we're like, yeah. Servant of Nero, Melinda watched as soon as it dropped on Netflix. All the main cast characterization is excellent. Production values can't be faulted at all. Nice. Hey, Renee. Hey, ladies. Let's see. Mag Attack, getting angry at TV show Lost. Yes, I'm so glad I never watched Lost after hearing about that, like, bomb. When I heard that the J.J. Abrams was directing Star Wars movies, I knew we were screwed. Yeah, his mystery box idea is not something I'm a fan of. To be fair, I sent you the best bits of Attack on Titan, so you're fine. Most involved Levi fighting things. Yes. Thank you, Paul, for giving me the cliff notes. Noticed you didn't send me that many clips, all in all. I mean, total runtime, like, it's a half an hour show in 10 hours. Let's see.
I think Team 4-Star did an abridged version of it.
Oh, really?
I think that's how I watched the first season.
See, I'm not the only one who feels this way. I mean, if somebody's doing supercuts.
DJ was watching it, and I think I saw a few episodes of the third season.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait. So this and this and this and this and this, right? Okay. Check back in 6 episodes and I'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I mean, they'll repeat it. I think it's designed around people who watch TV while cleaning their house or something, because...
That's perfect for DJ.
Yeah, he does. Oh,
I
Bills.
am not that type of person. I will rewatch things and
Yeah.
do things during them, but if I'm watching them for the first time,
Oh, yeah.
I have to be engaged.
For the most part, like some making of stuff or documentary stuff, maybe not. But a story, yeah. You gotta be watching it. Bills, the way you have the Necrons on pins and round quirks remind me of butterflies on display. Fair enough.
Killer butterflies!
Killer-
Yeah.
Shooty butterflies. Revok, these
Mechanical
days there
butterflies.
is so much choice of TV shows that when you find something that clicks, it's so much fun, but you have to wade through the crud to find it.
I'm not so
True
good at
fact.
wading through it.
No, yeah.
I
think
let other
I
people
just-
wade through it.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, once it falls
Maybe.
out of popularity, maybe I'll watch it.
Trying to think. We waited a while before we watched the Witcher series, and Henry Cavill could be to watch a lot of things, but like even that show, I'm like, it is always within the story. Like art direction, they do their job. I feel like the actors do their job. They bring their A game. Costume designers doing a great job. A lot of the special effects, most of the choreography, they're all bringing their A game. Freaking story. Like, why is everybody lazy about writing just a compelling and interesting story? How is that so damn hard?
Because they're taking it from the book in that one.
I don't know that they actually took everything from the book. I think they just made up a bunch of stuff after cherry picking a couple things from the book.
A lot of it came from the first book. It's just the
Really?
first book is just a compilation of little stories.
Like the way they did World War Z then? Because World War Z was a more interesting movie than...
Yeah, but World War Z isn't anything like the book.
Yeah, well, and maybe that was a good choice.
Well, you can't really make a movie of World War Z, the book, because it's
Just too many
interviews.
different... Yeah.
It's sitting down and
looks like a
having
documentary,
interviews.
yeah.
I mean,
I bet you could.
I guess you could.
Episodic TV show.
It would have to be.
Yeah.
Like amazing stories.
Like a mini series. The way they do Black Mirror. Yeah. Fair enough. Red, green. Well, there, I see you're doing the toasters as I see A2 Mr. IDIC beer. Okay. See, Paul, in the movies, though, the House of Gucci would be good, as it's Ridley Scott and Gaga. Both of them, apparently, it's beyond awful. That's too bad, because the movie itself looks reasonably compelling. Now, Ridley Scott, I have in no way, he's knocked well off that pedestal after Prometheus. Like, he's done.
Like, I saw that,
No.
and it was ruined forever.
Well, it's just like, and there's a certain amount of time that's passed, and whatever his sensibility is, whatever his taste is, fine. But it told me that he wasn't the thing that made Alien great. He just did a good job with a really good, strong story and interesting concept. And then when he really came back and tried to make it more of his own, I guess, I was not on board. So no, Ridley Scott is a perfectly competent and okay director, but he's not a great director in my mind. So I don't know what heresy that might be to some of y'all's ears, but... And Lady Gaga can act perfectly well, and the movie itself seems kind of interesting, but it's also like almost 3 freaking hours, and I'm not gonna do that. I can't. So, Renee, DJ does all the work for the Roomba.
I mean, he does have to empty it out.
Yeah, this is true. He hasn't been able to train the cat to do that for him. Servant of Nero. The Witcher is a bit confusing if you haven't read the books. Despite acknowledging its quality, I get why some reviewers criticized it, unfairly in retrospect, because of the dual timeline narrative. That isn't the part I have any complaints about. You follow the dual timeline, you're like, okay, these are 2 different points in time.
It took a little bit of time to figure out that it was 2 different points in time.
Yeah, which is fine, because whenever you realize that, you're like, oh, okay, and that's
It
satisfying.
suddenly makes sense.
It makes more sense. I don't know. Like, I felt like
I thought it was enjoyable enough, but like
it's pretty to watch, and the
that
action
might
is
be what
fine.
I enjoyed the most.
Yeah, I was gonna
Well,
say,
guess
like,
I pretty-
you can enjoy like a lot of stuff about a movie or a TV show, but it doesn't have like the rewatchability. It's sort of like the Dark Crystal series had that same problem where you're like, wow, this is really pretty, and look at this whole world. Have any of you guys rewatched the Dark Crystal series on Netflix
I
after
didn't
seeing it
even
the
watch
first time?
the first one.
Really?
Nope.
Okay. Oh, I'm honestly
Nope.
surprised
I
you
watched
did.
the movie.
Yeah, and the movie's amazing.
The movie. I will rewatch.
Yeah.
I saw the trailers for a show, and the trailers turned me off of it.
Why? Did it just seem silly?
Because for me, it lost all the magic of the original.
Well, what was the magic?
Magic was the practical effects and the puppets. And
Yeah, they do. They brought in a lot of practical effects still, but they had a lot of CG too. Like one of the Skeksis, Hunter Skeksis, Ninja Skeksy, I don't know, he was off-putting, but
They all had distracting CG tongues.
they did all have the distracting CG tongue. That was weird. I don't know if that's just like an update in people's minds, but it reminds me of, because when I was a kid and CG was still relatively new, but you'd watch like dinosaur documentaries. And obviously the CG artists just really loved making their dinosaurs, and every little bit of skin wiggled as they moved, and it was just overdone, right? And it had that problem. So, ho hum. Let's see. Would painting Necrons be easier or faster with an airbrush? Not so great for live audio, but like a personal preference.
Good question. I've never used an airbrush.
I am not airbrush savvy. I have watched people use airbrushes, but I do not own one. I have no practice with one, so I don't know.
Sorry.
Possibly.
To be continued. We'll find out in 2022, maybe. Let's see.
I imagine a lot of painting goes faster when you have an airbrush to do the base coats and stuff.
That's what I would think, and then you can do your highlights, but then you have every step of cleaning the airbrush whenever you're done with it.
Which sounds miserable to me.
It's just, I think I've never tried an airbrush. So, yeah. Paul, I love the same week the NVIDIA 3090 came out, Henry Cavill hurt his knee and had to take a week off The Witcher. And the director said, I'm not sure I believe him. Oh my Glanta, he's so amazing. Yeah, but no one's going to tell Henry Cavill no, right? Let's see, a little nibbler. So have y'all watched Dune yet? Yes, and we did talk.
No.
We talk about, well, you haven't, yeah. Do you think DJ would go?
I don't know if he would at this point. Doesn't seem like something that he would really enjoy. Because he doesn't like slow-moving movies. He needs that action.
Oh, yeah, Dune may not be for him. Resident Evil has a lot of action.
He might enjoy it. I don't know. He's watched all the others.
Yeah, but the others had Mila Jovovich, and she really kind of brought a uniqueness to the story. Like, it's similar to Underworld, where you're like, it's a certain level of story. It's not too deep. It's just not. But it's fun. She brought something new to it. The other characters from the games are just side characters in the movies, and so they didn't have to worry about following them or giving them annoying backstories or whatever. Like, you either liked the characters or not. And, Mila Jovovich is just a darling. Like, who doesn't like her? In this, they really took a bunch of actors, and I'm not saying they did a bad job, but, like, you didn't have that charisma level of, like, a Mila Jovovich character to just be willing to put up with a lot of stuff, which The Witcher does have in its favor. And for that movie, it just, is for the fans, but I don't think that did it any favors. But I do give him props that I do believe he was earnest. Oh, God, and I wish we spent more time in those sets because they were so cool. Except for the orphanage, which was boring, where they spent most of their time. Anyway. So much anger. Let's see. Yes, a joke, I say. Oh, okay. Fair enough, Red Green. Let's see. I read some of the manga, but there's a manga called Attack on Titan, No Regrets, which is a prequel. That was cool. No Regrets? No Regrets. Let's see, I didn't realize there was a prequel set up for the main series, or is it an ancient history sort of setting? Attack on Titan is not worth talking about this much. Mac Attack, the wife and I have watched The Witcher multiple times now. Yeah, The Witcher you can watch multiple times for lots of reasons. Bill's last puppet show I watched and really enjoyed was The Barbarian and the Troll. Waiting for season 2, The Barbarian and the Troll. Have you heard of that?
Nope.
I want to see. All right, let's go into my notes. The Barbarian and the Troll.
Last puppet show I watched was just snippets of puppets in Me and Earl and the Dying Girl.
That's a
Sockwork Orange.
That is a
Oh my God. That made me so happy.
That is a lovely movie, actually, if you've ever seen it. Like, prepare to have your heart ripped out of your chest, but it's so lovely.
I bought it for sure.
Yeah.
Like, I own it.
Yeah, we did too. It's so good. And it's rewatchable, and it's a really interesting story with real emotional depth and all of the things, right? Let's see. Red, green. Me, I get a real shiny metallic and spray it a lot and do black wash or just wash on top of it and get them done. Oh, I bet you have some fastly painted minis, that's for sure. Let's see. I know Uncle Adam uses his airbrush to prime, paints normally, and then airbrushes to seal and varnish. You just rattle can all that and you don't have to deal with cleaning it. Like, is there a lot of benefit to that? I don't know. What am I missing? Audio ad again. Never mind. Not on Mila Jovovich, but they ruined Monster Hunter in that movie, so that's an unforgivable sin for me. Yeah, I didn't even bother to see that one. But another movie that came out right around that time was For Love and Monsters, I think is what it's called.
That was good.
That's really good. We saw it at your place, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
we
yeah.
watched it together.
We did. So watch that one instead, and you'll have a much better experience. Has anybody
Love
watched
and
the Wheel of
Monsters.
Time series on Amazon?
They were
Read-
discussing that, yeah.
I read all the books but didn't finish the series. Yeah, some people in the chat have. I have not started it, and I don't know when I'll start it because, again, it's really hard. It took me like a month and a half or month or whatever to like get through Squid Games. And
That I got through pretty fast.
yeah.
Like I said, ending. God.
Mm.
What? Why?
So you hate the main character even more, I guess? I don't know. There were some weird choices.
You're talking about shiny red hair.
Yeah, he has shiny red hair and abandons his daughter again. Thanks. Great. Beautiful. Horrible. Horrible. Sorry. I hated it. I just hated
I'm
it.
just sitting there like, what? What is going through your head?
Red dye. It's red 40. Oh, gosh.
It's the beginning of a new cabin in the woods. They just have the dye in the.
There you
yeah.
go. There you go. Let's see
So
if I-
so that's the new twist. The Squid Game is now part of Cabin in the Woods, and they're all going to die.
that would improve it. Just do a big mashup. That'd be fine. I mean,
It's just one of the little blocks that you see, one of the screens.
Yeah.
at the end.
okay, that could be kind of fun. Miranda, these Attack on Titan comments mean you're getting left behind on a Phasmophobia. Mean you're getting left behind on a Phasmophobia ghost hunt. Huh? As if I would.
Did you reset your audio?
Yeah, well, it doesn't seem out at the moment. So I'm going to say it's fine. Yes, The Barbarian and Troll, like that one, and Disenchanted. Now, Disenchanted is the animated show. Isn't that from Matt Groening and Co.? Is that what Disenchanted is? Because I watched a little bit of it, but it was a little too, I don't know, edgy or whatever for my taste. But I'll watch Barbarian and Troll. Mac Attack Airbrush does a smoother blending than Rattle can. Cleaning an airbrush is not really that hard. Well, vacuuming isn't that hard. Laundry isn't that hard. I don't do any of these things often enough.
I would do laundry if my washing machine worked.
Yeah. It's a chore is all I'm saying. So yes, it's obviously like a lifestyle choice in my case. But I don't know. The only thing that intimidates me or delays me as far as like exploring an airbrush is, I got decent at painting over the last year and, getting my minis sort of worked out, and I got this little system in place. And so if you start an airbrush, you're
You
kind
have
of
to
starting
relearn
over.
everything.
You're starting over. So, audio is out of sync. Fine, let's try this again. All right. Okay. Let me know if that works again. Sorry, guys. I don't know why it's doing that. That's just it not wanting to.
Because technology hates you.
Well, fair enough.
Let's just tell it how it is.
Just say it how it is, yes. Melinda, For Love of Monsters, I've wanted to see that. Gotta find it on streaming.
I think what did we watch it on? Vudu? Amazon Prime? One of those.
Yeah, I don't know. Check the different streaming services. I know they expire off sometimes. Okay, Miranda, reminder, were you going to ask about what content the people want now that you're in your new digs? Yes, that's a good point. I guess we are sort of in the last half hour. I should probably do that.
Hey Miranda, people want battle reports apparently.
I know. I have a way of I may have a solution to this problem. Finally, after outgrowing my house. Yes. So obviously, like with the whole gaming space, with the whole studio space, the idea is we can record games here and we can have games set up, and it's a lot easier for everybody to meet here. And if we have to go overnight, like stuff can just be left alone without worrying about anything there. So we've been considering Combat Patrol
Yeah.
because that looks fun, and it's just 40K, and you don't have to learn the kill team rules, which seem like they've gotten bizarre. I'm sorry, like I just really put me off to it. And so it's like, okay, well, you can use the 9th edition rules, and there are like 500-point games, so that would be fun. I personally do love my War Machine hordes, so I'd probably bring that again too. But another one we've been talking about, because we have so many painted miniatures, and I actually found the game really fun, was Warhammer Underworlds. Like playing Shadespire and the other iterations. We've got Beastgrave even, like we could get a bunch of different armies represented that way. So I was curious what all you guys are playing now, and if you guys are watching battle reports, what you are watching right now that is of interest to you. Now, I mean, I want to bam it up a notch, if you will, and like have some really cool terrain and have some fun editing to it. So I'm hoping that whatever I make is watchable anyway. But if it's for stuff that you guys actually enjoy and play, then that's even better, right? So I'm inquiring upon you guys.
What are you playing? What are you watching?
What are you playing? What are you watching? That's right. Gene, some geographic locations have only a few months that have good temperature for rattle cans outside, not too hot or cold or humid. An airbrush allows priming year-round. That's a good point. I guess where we're at, it's just so there's no humidity in New Mexico, like none. And
It's dry and we're a mile in altitude.
we're a mile in altitude, it's dry, and the weather is very, I think we have more sunny days than Florida. Yeah, so that's not a problem. DJ, she would have to leave the van and get left behind. Thanks, DJ. Let's see, you also don't have to take an airbrush apart and clean it after every use. Very true. In sync, okay, audio corrected. I don't know why it's doing that. More bugs to figure out in this whole setup. I'm sure this is my computer, but whatever. Adeptus Ridiculous. I'm on the fence on airbrushing. It's too high maintenance for me when I can do the same thing with brushes. Classic old school, the better, given it takes a bit longer. And so I wonder like how much longer. Hello there, name at Canada. Because if it's a really huge time benefit you get, then I can see the value in having and just going all in on an airbrush. But at the same time, like, you get more done painting slow and painting at all than, you know, just sitting around practicing with an airbrush. Let's see. By the way, I finally commandeered your Valerie just the other day. And your Bane Blades too.
Valkyrie?
I think Valkyrie, yes. Todd, been watching Malifaux, Monster Apocalypse, and Rumble Slam reports. Played a little 25-point Malifaux game, but don't have many people to play with. Well, we have been talking about Malifaux.
Yes, at the very least, some Malifaux lore, and I have.
Yeah.
I've pulled out my Malifaux models. I need to do some assembling and some painting, which I'll get to eventually.
Yeah. We've got
but
crews.
I've been reading all the 3rd edition stuff and the likes to
Yeah.
try getting in some
I feel
games
like
again.
Malifaux games have to be like a live game or something.
Yeah. So when you're watching the Malifaux games, are you mostly seeing card flips, or do you see a lot of action? Because I know we've done, when we did Malifaux, it looked very static on the screen, except for just card flipping.
Like you're watching poker.
Yeah, it looks like you're watching poker, and so that wasn't super exciting to edit, and so. But I am positive on 3rd edition. It seems like it's done a lot to streamline any of the issues that existed in M2E, and I mean the company's done a really good job, kind of making the game and the world interesting and providing lore to the players, and the player base has been amazing. I mean, the podcasts that talk about the lore are phenomenal.
great,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, like, Malifaux has amazing fans. They're right up there with, like, the Infinity players who all read the lore and all love the rules and just love those games. Like, so impressive. I love it. I feel like little orphan outside the window watching, like, these healthy, happy fans.
Well, you kind of are.
Nah. See, Paul, I used to play Kill Team till it died. smaller 40K and Warmahordes for me. Paul, you watch Warmahordes. You know, he doesn't play it, but he watches it for my sake because he's a nice guy. Jean, I'd love to see a video series or movie of the Cups of Sorcery book series, starting with Another Day, Another Dungeon. Those books are what got me into fantasy roleplay and advanced Dungeons and Dragons. Cup and Sorcery book series?
I have not read those or heard of them.
Yeah, I have not heard of those either.
Are they more recent? Because I feel like...
Not if they got them into AD. That would have been old school, like 80s.
Oh, well, maybe that's why, because I wasn't...
Born yet.
I
You did not exist yet.
wasn't working at Barnes & Noble.
when they were in their peak. I
That's
don't
fair.
think.
And they probably hadn't had a resurgence. And see, DJ, when we play Phasma, I'm constantly asking Miranda, what's my sanity? What's my sanity? Well, yeah, you're like, oh, good enough. I'm going to see if I can get hunted and get a picture with the ghost. Oh, no, I died.
That's still great.
It is great. It's actually a lot of fun to play Phasmophobia with Paul. And it's also fun
I
to play
have
with my
it
brothers.
now too.
Yes, I know. We need to get on, and I can be the van lady for you. Help you out from afar. It sucks on nightmare mode because half the screens in the van are broken, so you actually like can't justify staying in the van very much. Like you have to make up a lot of excuses. My cousin does not. She sees right through it. Let's see, Mag Attack. I'm interested in bolt action. Bolt action is fun. And Dust is so fun. Let's see, bolt action, World War II, Infinity, Lord of the Rings.
Game of Thrones game.
Oh yeah, the Song of Ice and Fire, guys. Come on, any love for that one? Because we're totally done with playing that one right now. Let's see, bolt action, Lord of the Rings, Call to Arms, Elder Scrolls, Star Wars Legion. Okay. Yeah, most of those, like bolt action, I'm the most familiar with in that group. Infinity, I don't know, guys. Like, I could probably get some Infinity players to record a game, but
I would say you can probably record a game for Infinity players and voiceover for it.
and have them literally explain everything they're doing.
I mean, we've got a big enough meta here. I mean, that's like the biggest thing here.
Yes. Yes, exactly. So that's the idea. So maybe, I don't know, Mexico Infinity people, hit me up. Todd, make sure you dry fit your Malifaux models flow. The online instructions are obtuse as heck.
I've put a number of them together already, and they're miserable anytime.
Good night, Kahneman Studio. Thanks for joining us. Well, I know they were really fiddly. Like the peak of fiddly bits with them, I thought was the Ten Thunders faction when they came out because they had the, how did they put it? Dynamic poses, which meant breakable, easily breakable models as far as
They
I
were
could
all
tell.
easily breakable.
No, I mean, my Pandora crew were fine. Like, you have a big, heavy, chonky Teddy. Like,
They were
you're
all
not gonna
metal.
break him. Yeah, they were all metal.
I'll say, no.
No.
When they moved past metal,
Yeah.
I had Yon Lo and his beard.
Wow, he's like, yeah. his
They have a
beard.
new one now.
Yeah, I think all the minis got new updates.
I don't think all of them did.
Anything that was metal definitely got updated.
Well, yeah,
'Cause the
that-
new
none of it's metal
Pandora
anymore.
Looks wildly different from the old Pandora, and then I think Lilith, or maybe is it Lilith who's gone?
I think it is Lilith who's gone.
Yeah. Servant of Nero, fingers crossed for a collab with War Budgies and Warcaster Neo Mechanica. There might already be something in the works if he hasn't already put it out. Let's see, we did record a game at Valhalla, I will share that much. And yeah, I had a good time playing Warcaster there. Night all, hope you had a great night. Night Mag Attack. Most of the Masters just got a big update. Like recently? Okay. Yeah, so I mean, Malifaux is a cool and interesting world with its own distinct aesthetic, which I think is something that miniature games really need to have in order to keep people engaged. So obviously 40K, in addition to their massive marketing and willingness to sell their IP license for any kind of video game, they've had great market saturation for that, but they've got a strong aesthetic. And I mean, the Iron Kingdoms is an amazing aesthetic. I think it's completely underappreciated, but hopefully that won't last forever because it is a wonderful world. And then, yeah, the Malifaux world is super interesting. And the Infinity world, I think, is interesting. Like, there's a lot going on. And again, the players all read the lore and seem super into it. So obviously it has legs. So I love it. I love all these wonderful games. Cool, looking forward to it. Yeah. Me too, because I don't have to edit it. It's great. It's great. So yeah. So, okay. Well, I'm thinking stuff I could work on. I know nobody mentioned Warhammer Underworlds, but that's probably one of the things that will happen. And Song of Ice and Fire. And I might be able to hook up some bolt action, because that would be fun. And at least just for the fun of it, I'm probably going to play some Dust games. I know that it's not supported anymore, but man, that was a fun game. And they had great models. And I've got a bunch of them, so put them on the table, dang it.
You're like, I will support it individually.
Support it in tribute. And I don't know, like maybe it'll rise from the ashes, you never know. All right, we've got 15 more minutes. You want to give us a little project check, progress check. Where are you guys at?
Well, let's listen to them for a minute and just have me finish this one color real quick.
Jean, the Cups of Sorcery books by Greg Kostikayan were released in the late 80s and early 90s. They are the best fantasy roleplay comedy. Okay. I'll have to check that one out then. Paul, I do love the look of Bone Reapers in Underworlds, just not the game. Also the Corn guys, I have both of those. Yeah, the whole Alliance of Death stuff is actually really cool. It almost makes me want to play Sigmar, but of course I'm attracted to the faction with the most breakable looking models, so probably should avoid it. Bone Reapers are good, but I still love the old metal minis. Well, so I was definitely like a huge fan of the old plastic, the old metal for a long time, because metal models, like, they're very accessible to make, let's say, because you have the vulcanized rubber mold, you can get a bunch of pores out of it. Plastic gets really difficult because of the cost of mold building, and so not all companies can do that. And then you have that in between, which is resin, which can either be really good or awful, and really not in between. So yeah. Progress check, it's at 211K now. Oh yeah, so Paul put out a Doom Eternal video on your channel, which has hit 211,000 views. Like, gone crazy. So congratulations to you, Paul. But yeah, the unfortunate part of the metal minis is the weight. And, you know, paint does chip off of them. And they're hardier in a lot of ways, but the weight can really be uncomfortable after a while, especially if you're in a War Machine tournament for 10 hours or whatever, doing a tournament and carrying your case on your shoulder in between everything. And it's just so heavy. So no, I have seen the light. I don't know. I like plastic just fine anymore. I guess the only downside to plastics, and correct me if I'm wrong here, is they don't seem quite as customizable in the molds. Whereas metal figures, just the way they make them, people can kind of put all kinds of different things on them, or do the fancy green stuff sculpting that I do not understand and it looks like magic to me. But
I can't do that either.
not yet. You can get there. I have faith in you. Alt Monkey. I just happened to be painting, and I stumbled across this. How's everyone doing? Hi, Alt Monkey. Yeah, we're here for like another 10 minutes. She's painting, I'm chatting with you guys, who are also painting and sometimes chatting or doing whatever. So we're just, just a hobby hangout right now. Nicholas, still have 2,000-point high elf armies sitting on my shelf, mostly metal, but now they look small compared to today's luminous realm lords. Well, yeah, I guess that was the other natural outcropping, right? Plastics and resins allowed models to scale up. It became sort of a comedic problem in the War Machine world because nothing fit on their base anymore. And in a game where bases and millimeters mean everything, like having models that don't fit on their base was kind of, it was kind of hilarious. I didn't care, but yeah, it affected things. Let's see, sadly still doing popsicle sticks, but the final product is gonna be epic. Yeah, that's just the groundwork you've gotta do. What is it, 90% of every project is just the preparation. Applies to miniatures, painting. It doesn't look great until Like you can get away with a miniature with just your base coats, but then it doesn't look great until you've really done that last 10%. So it just is what it is.
You've done your base.
It doesn't look good until you've done your base. That's true. Yeah. You can see some gorgeous looking models, but if they're on an unpainted base, an unfinished base, it looks half painted. It is crazy how much it takes away. You're doing custom bases for these, aren't you? Or do you have the inserts?
We have inserts for these ones.
Okay.
And then I started working on the warriors.
Are you batch painting them? Like all these at once?
Kind of doing them in sets of 5.
Okay.
So I put the base coat of blue on these ones here, but these ones have most of their blue on them already.
I love it. Let's see here.
Wait for it to load.
Elven Union Blood Bowl team. Servant of Nero. Metal models, which have seen resculpts in resin plastic, are also dinky these days. Horror's got affected in this big time. Sculpting technology has moved on so much. Yeah. Well, looking at the corn team to use as Chaos Cultists and Kill Team. Alt Monkey, the green looks good on that.
Thank you.
Yeah, it has a nice pop to it for sure. Let's see here. Adeptus, yeah, I have to agree with you on that, but even better, the bendable plastics are even better because it won't break. Generally chips because of that, but better than breaking and repainting. True enough. Great workflow. Good job.
Yay!
Lavish the
Okay.
pack. Let's see. I know how you feel. I have a huge collection of wood elves from pre-AOS just sitting on the shelf. Half the army is painted. And wood elves don't have any use in AOS anymore, or any, at this point, right? Like, are they just a defunct army completely?
I think the army still exists, but the models are all very different.
Oh, like you can't use wood elves in
Like most
current
of them
AOS?
are like dryad type characters, like they're all made of trees and stuff. It's just very, very different than just wood elves, I think. Forget what they're called.
Nicholas says the Necrons are looking mighty fine. That's right, DJ. Look at these beautiful models. You love them. I mean, you proved them all anyway, right? Great workflow.
Thank you.
See, aside from the green, Flo's Necrons look a bit like my Night Lord Necrons. Okay. Absolutely, Jean. I've got Bretonians that I will someday get around to doing. Yeah, the Bretonians I thought were kind of pushed to the wayside as well. So, I don't know, guys. I don't know. Some models still work, but not the actual wood elf models. It was depressing, and I didn't buy into AOS. AOS had one of the roughest releases I've ever seen in like wargaming history. The weird rule set that came out that was like 3 pages, or maybe it was even 1 page, and had silly rules. I think one of the rules was like you got a point if your opponent had a mustache or something. Like bizarre rules where like, I don't know what kind of first draft this was, but obviously there was no effort put into that. And they've still managed to recover. I mean, people play AOS just fine now. As far as I can tell, anyway. They also have old Chaos Dwarf army. Love the Assyrian look to them. Nice. Yeah, like, I love Vermintide. Like, Vermintide 2 is just such a perfect game in a lot of ways. And that's in the old world, old fantasy, I guess. Sort of, it's end times, right? And so I'm all about that, but I don't know that I can bring myself to put it on the table. Maybe it's just too many models. It's like you can only buy into so many big games, and War Machine is a big game. I've got hundreds of models of War Machine. And then like the next big one that I've got would be 40K, just for the big stuff I've got. And 40K has like the really cool, awesome flyers and tanks and titans and all of that. And I love War Machine's titans and colossals, but they're not the same as big mechanized troops, you know, even though they're mechanized troops. But they're not tanks, they're not flyers. And so there's just so many models. Like, there's only so many models you can have before you've, you know, outgrown your house and have to go to a studio. So, digressing. Yes. The Necrons do look fine. How much do you say you get done in like the 90 minutes we're sitting here yapping?
I think it depends on what phase I'm in. If it's more detail work, like I was doing tonight, then I'll usually get maybe 2 done. But if I'm doing my base coats, especially these blues, which now I've gotten really used to,
Yeah.
I can knock out about 4 or 5 models of all complete base coats, all the way to the highlights.
Okay. Yeah, infantry, again, your base coats, like if you get into a rhythm or on a roll with it, that definitely feels like more progress. But, you know, your detail work is so pretty. And it's nice that you can get so much of it done, like, what, 45 minutes a model for the detail work? Doesn't seem bad.
I mean, it's not like super fast, but it's
Well, I just
with
wonder.
the level of detail that I'm doing, I would say
Yeah.
it's decent.
Yeah, I agree.
I feel like going any faster would make the detail work kind of really sloppy. So, yeah.
Fair enough. Paul, last time I played Vermintide 2 was private Twitch mode for Jimmy. He voted boss every time. Oh yeah, so Vermintide 2 has this Twitch mode where you interface with Twitch, and so if you have viewers watching it, they can vote for specific things to happen to you in the game, and it's hilarious. And of course, usually the audience is like, what's the meanest thing to give you? Which is, you know, whatever. And it really makes the game even more fun. Like, Vermintide 2, Fat Shark did such a great job with that game. It is so fun. Wish I could play more. Let's see. Last time, let's see. Gene, I play more 40K now in affiliate games such as Aeronautica, Imperialis, Kill Team, and Apocalypse. What about, is it just Titanicus, the smaller, the epic scale Titan one? Yeah. Because I know some people would play that one. And it looked fun, like the little control chart seemed fun, but I never ended up doing a game or demoing it.
3D print the new huge War Master Titan
No.
for 40K scale.
Yeah, you do that. Nicholas, I told my wife that we need a bigger house to hold all my models. Just get her into miniatures, and there you go. Who needs a she shed? Just more storage. Adepticus, let's see. Yep, past the breaking point in model saturation lately. It's why I'm riding off the gas when it comes to new models. As long as you can crunch them out, there's no point in buying more. Well, unless it's limited edition, or unless it's something you really are excited about playing, you're gonna bump it up in priority, but then never really do. Or, you know, mostly if it's a limited run. I think most people buy stuff because they think that they may not be able to get it later. And GW has that down to a perfect science with their store exclusives and limited run things. I mean, most of the stuff that I'm sure people have in their huge backlog, oh yeah, the scarabs are super fun, are, cover up the Necrons in the background because it's focusing on them instead. Just raise your hand a little bit.
It takes a minute for it to
Oh,
load.
okay. Yeah, there you go. I was like, I'm pretty sure it's trying to focus on the back. But there you go. Yeah. Oh, that looks beautiful. Beautiful.
So, I have 6 of those done.
6 sets of, oof. So many bugs. Got an infestation in here. Titanicus looks fun, but the terrain is in different scale too. Yeah, there's that too. So, Adeptus ridiculous. Or Paul, I want to hold off on any new GW models till the new Tyranids. So we'll be buying in 2040. Flo's scarabs are epic. Good job. Good job.
Those were really fun to paint. They were really fast.
But there's like just enough detail in there, and there's these sparks of color that really make them pop nicely. So they look great. And they'll be on their own, what are they, 25 mil bases? Like they're bigger than that, actually.
It's funny because there's one on his
Oh yeah, on the
foot
split.
there. It's so
So
small.
bitty.
I don't even think you're gonna be able to.
Do scarabs grow in? I thought they were all mechanical.
See, it's got a tiny one. I can't even.
Yeah, it's too small.
Yeah.
All right,
Nope.
well, I think we'll. Oh yeah, got in focus. I think we're probably gonna wrap it here, guys, but thank you for joining us in the new studio space. I definitely appreciate your feedback on stuff we can work on here, and I'll be taking that and see where we're at in another
Running with
2
it.
weeks. Yeah, the next stream I think will be on the 15th, so my hope is that we'll actually be gaming in here by that time, because we're actually still moving in. So thank you all for hanging out with me, putting up with me, and supporting me. So we'll see you in a couple weeks. Get some rest. I hope you all got some painting done. Plunder done. Good luck on your popsicle stick project. I know it will be awesome afterward. And if you have anything that you want to finish, that you finished painting or you want to show off, feel free to post it to the Wargamer Girl Facebook page. Just reply to my stream post tonight with whatever you've posted, and I'll be sure to take a look at that. So you guys have a great night and a great couple of weeks. Stay sane out there. Bye.